Welcome. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity, presenting 7 ways why liberate me from me. Why liberate me from me sets me free to stop healing the past to liberate my now. And here's the thing, everything you're trying to get away from in the outside world is inside you and me. So as I opened up to this, and everything I'm trying to get away from is in my thinking, memory, mind, my subconscious, all inside me. I taught myself to fall prey to the hogwash in the physical world, but I kept pumping myself full of limiting BS because I thought the outside world did it to me. The outside world did nothing to me. I did it to me. When I opened up to admit this, and I started using liberation instead of heal, I liberated me from me to set me free because I asked these 2 questions. Why is healing the past having 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot on a banana peel sliding back into yesterday? Because when you're trying to heal the past, everything that's going on is inside you, and you're trying to heal the past, but you're thinking about it and you're actually inviting it into your life. And I've heard everybody says you got to keep telling your backstory so people know that I stopped that. I say these are the events and encounters and experience that rose me out of my past to experience today. See, when you keep telling the stories of the past, you're still subconsciously stuck to the past and internally. It's easy to say that. That way you keep people inside the self-help, personal growth, self-improvement box. That's something I've really opened up to. Everything you think and know is a box because it comes from outside sources. And then the second question I asked is, why does indoctrinated education is recycled inexperience keep the world living from the past? And that is something I really opened up to in the last 10 years, actually. But if you really look at the world, we really are stuck in the past. We got all the technology and the AI and stuff, but on the physical world and communication and education, we're stuck in our ancestors' world. So I broke out. I had an ancestor jailbreak about 2-3 weeks ago, and I made a class called Ancestor Jailbreak, because we are living our ancestors' life without even realizing it. So healing the past keeps you living in your comfort zone of apathy, and you're thinking and knowing limitations. Everything you think and know is a limitation because it comes from somebody else. And the thing about to to liberate the now, you get into your own inspirations, and we're going to get into that. So when I stopped healing the past, I realized my inner dialogue, thinking and knowing memories, kept repeating descriptions of people, the words, the intensity of the words, the situations that were said, the feelings, the emotions. It's all a mini movie that's playing out inside me. And every time something out here occurs, how do you go into your insecurity mode or your know-it-all or your egotistical arrogance? I did. And I really opened to understand the world runs on egotistical arrogance and recycled know-it-all ignorance. And what I mean by that is if you look at the world, people got this, I'm educated, I'm an elected official, I'm somebody important. But yet, they're not. Everybody's equal. The thing is everybody thinks the CEOs and the business people all run the world. Well, if all the CEOs go home for 30 days and all the self-help people and the personal growth people and the self-improvement people go home for 30 days, would the world still function? Yeah. But if all the hourly workers go home for 30 days, I'm talking about the nurses, the nurses' assistants, the electricians, the plumbers, the construction workers, the road workers, power plant people, and the refinery people. All them people go home for 30 days. So what happens? This world is locked and blocked and shut down. So when you open up to understand, we've been taught things in the real world to think and know this. We've been taught to think the CEOs and management actually run a corporation. But when it really comes down to it, the production workers go home for 30 days. What happens? They shut down. And see, that's the way we are. We're trying to live a world that is a fallacy and a fake and bake to me, because it's the many movies of what we had. And see, all the college professors, most of them, have never ever had a job in the blue collar world. I actually, they're entrepreneurs, hourly entrepreneurs, because that's their way of life. And see, when we was coming up, when the country was young, everybody was on the farm and they all come up together. Now we got people walking out of college right into management. They think they got there because of something, but they got there because of their college knowledge, which is recycled inexperience and ineptness. Unless you physically have done what you're managing, you lack the understanding and the wisdom, because there is certain things that go on in a production that you'll never understand. And that's why I liberate me from me, because I want to get away from that and to understand the outside world has nothing to do with my inner world. My inner world runs the outside world. And that's why when you liberate you from you, or I liberate me from me, you stop being controlled by outside sources. And everything that is embedded and ingrained in my subconscious mind, frozen in time representations, entrenched emotions, bent out of shape feelings, thinking other people did something to me, playing the victim, acting out in drama, trauma, that I taught myself to get attention. How you like that? I taught myself drama and drama just to get attention. So everybody would love me. That was the biggest fallacy there ever is. When people act out in trauma and drama, and all they're doing is acting out in their insecurities, and all they want is attention to feed their insecurities and immaturity. Oh, hell yes, I was good at it. Let's just admit it. Admit it to get rid of it. You know, entrenched insecurities come, I got mine from my parents, a lot of it. But when I got it from them, I let the everyday life just embellish it and ingrain it deeper. And that's where people really, that's where I got in trouble, is because I embedded my parents' insecurities. And then when something happened in the physical world, I thought it was out there, but it was in here. So it got deeper and deeper. It was when I awakened to understand I did everything just like my parents. And something else I really want to get into right here before I go. Your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs are come from your parents and your 5-year-old, but they are the biggest limitations, because we never want to get outside of the comfort zone and the apathy and the camouflage limitations of our beliefs, opinions, and viewpoints, because they all come from back there. They all come from yesterday. And when you're living in yesterday, today seems like a dismay, because we never are open to listen and encounter the experiences that will expand us and rise us out of yesterday. You know, the external, the subconscious memories and external events, encounters, initiates the inner dialogue and the inner side of yourself. It's really your outside world initiates, but it's your inner world that really activates and controls you, especially that inner dialogue. I've understood it for years, but now I understand it, because I listen to I call him my favorite con artist, because You're going down the road and you're all hyped up to do something. Let's just use it. You're going to go to the gym, but right before you get there, that little con artist steps up and talks you out of it. Or if you have something unsavory during the day and you really get calmed down, and then that little inner dialogue starts jammering and hammering you with the BS from the previous event. We're our own con artists. We talk ourselves out of the good and into the bad, or out of the bad into the good. It's both ways. But that's why Liberate Me from Me is so energizing, because you're liberating yourself from that inner dialogue. And when that dialogue comes up and it's your subconscious mind viewpoints and fearing sneers of your opinions and beliefs and your egotistical arrogance. I have to be right. I can never admit that I did something wrong. Well, I did do something wrong. But once I opened up to it and I admitted it to myself, it just gets easier to liberate me from me. I liberate me from my viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, parents' way of life, childhood, everything that was said to me in the school years, and my ancestors' anchored survival mode mindsets, and the third world enslaving mindsets that we were all introduced to through many different ways. And that's something people really have to open up to and understand. There is a third world mindset in this country because it's taught to us by the people that wrote the curriculum for college. And the thing about it is, most of the college people and management could stay home for a day. As long as the hourly workers showed up and the production people, the world would still function. See, we're so out of whack with this, thinking that hourly wages are inflationary, but a $300 million CEO's isn't. And that little hourly wage we have, it rises the price of things, but that $300 million CEO's wages doesn't go into it. We're bought into the falsification of economics, and that's the college education. I'm sorry, but this world has to wake up and smell the roses of robust optimism, streaming, enterprising, savvy. And the more we stay inside where we're at, the more we stay stuck in the muck of ourselves. And people want you to keep healing the past, healing the past. Well, you keep healing the past, you keep living inside the same mini movies as yesterday. How is today mirror yesterday in your life? That's something you have to get very honest with. When you rise out of the thinking, knowing, memory mind that binds you into yesterday and opens up to your free-flowing inspirations, coloring your life with your intuition and innovative wizardry, you set yourself free. The difference between this is think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts all come from memory or from a book. As inspiration, understand, comprehend, wisdom, and revelations, they are presented to you in the present moment. And that's really something I really opened up to. And when you understand everything you think and know is what somebody else wants you to do and what everybody else taught you, you can rise out of it. But it's stop being stuck in yourself. That's where you're at. You're stuck in the muck of yourself. I know I was, still am. But I'm willing to rise out of it because I'm willing to listen to something that's fresh and new out there. And something else, change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, never ever quiets that mini movie within yourself. So when you're using change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, think and know and learn, everything that happened in that event is still active and still initiated and still running the active mini movie in yourself. When you want to rise out of that, you want to open up to listening for the outcome and to understand inspiration rises you out. Understand expands you through. Comprehend gives you the wisdom, insight, and clarity to move, to be chauffeured forward. And wisdom is what you get from the experience. Knowledge is a book. Wisdom is from the experience, and if I see think and know with wisdom, it's nullified. Wisdom is the outcome of the experience. You can have knowledge, you never have wisdom, because wisdom comes from, well, basically from the experience in the physical world of doing something. And revelations over thoughts, revelations are spirit. Thoughts are never spirit. When I see that, it means nothing to me. Revelations are your spirit, are the unknown sources of your intuition, imagination. But we've been so taught to stay inside the thinking, knowing, memory, mind, and everything the school system taught us. The school system is a foundation. College education is a foundation. But as you move forward, you're going to understand you are the river of riches flowing through your life to go to your seashores of serenity. Because the more you get calm in yourself, you're going to stop living. And when I really say stop healing, because healing is thinking, liberation is feeling and flowing. That's the biggest thing. Liberation is feeling and flowing, and you're listening to the outside world. Healing, you're thinking about the situation you're trying to heal. So how much of that is keeping you aggravated to stay the same? So as I liberate me from me, I set me free to feel the robust, enterprising elegance dance me through life. Because once you try to heal that past never lets you go. It keeps you doing the same. And because a thinking, knowing mind learned everything from an outside source, everything you learned in the school system is secondhand information. So when I stop healing the past, I stop hearing the repeated events and encounters of my life that had me stuck in the boundaries of my comfort zone worry and camouflage fears that silently hid past events, encounters, and experiences that I never wanted the world to see. In order to rise out of anything from the past, you have to express it to the world. Whatever you're trying to hide from the world, you express to the world. You don't have to tell your neighbor and make it a gossip. You can go out in the middle of a pasture on a windy day and just speak everything outside of yourself and let it go. I liberated my now because I shed, shred, and communicated away being stuck inside my educated mind that binded me in what everybody else wanted me to know, and my ancestor survival mode habits and third world enslaving mindset. What does the words I speak internally and externally keep all the memories of the past controlling me internally, reacting to it? So when you're reacting to the outside world, the inner world is reacting to that, but you're trying to blame the outside world. And basically liberating you from you, or I liberate me from me, is the outside world becomes just a blank sheet of experiences, as the experiences here are to awaken you and expand you out of it and upward. Now, I have a class called Liberating Lingo, and that's Cowboy Wisdom, Hypno Acuity, Liberating Lingo of Expand, Energize, Enterprise, Experience, Inspiration, Understand, comprehend wisdom, revelations that instantly rises you out of the rhetoric, the limiting rhetoric of change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, think, know, learn, knowledge, thoughts that are all stored in your memories and activated by your outside world. Everything you have out there activates something in here. But when you open up to understand every blockage you have is in here, and that is showing you where your limitations are. You know, all propagandized education, self-help, personal growth, and self-improvement keeps your inner dialogue tied to your thinking, knowing, memory, mind, rerunning the movies of the past. That's one thing I really opened up to understand when I began this in 1997. I was doing everything. It wasn't until then everything stayed the same, but I was going nowhere. It's when I opened up to understand the words we speak control the way we think, or come from the way we think, and that's the way we stay. So it's really rising out of the rhetoric of yesterday, or school, or self-help, personal growth. Because when you rise to express, expand, energize, enterprise, experience, understand, uh, appreciate over forgiveness, because that gives you the value of the situation. You stop living in the past and you can move to the now, because heal never comes to now, because you're always healing back in the past. When you start liberating, you liberate here. Liberation is now, the past is yesterday, healing is yesterday. The past is a panorama movie of now, that you are the director, the producer, and the star. But you are the star of your movie. And the past keeps the inner dialogue and unknown limiting rhetoric controlling you from the past. So that's why I developed the liberating lingo for me, as I expand, energize, enterprise, experience my desired outcomes, and appreciate my life. When you appreciate every event in your life, and you appreciate every person, I didn't say you had to love them, I didn't even say you had to like them. But when you appreciate them, that gives you the value of the situation. You know, the thing that sets me free, I liberate me, sets me free, sprees my spiritual prowess, revolutionizing my revelation to eloquently energize me to listen to the free-flowing inspiration, imagining my pageantry of my amazing desired lifestyle, streaming a soaring ardor intuition, fashion designer intuition. See how these words, they intrigue you and they make you curious. My fashion designer imagination epiphany sketches, describes, and colors my innovative murals of my moneyed up accomplished outcomes, as I am chauffeured to relax in my lazy boy of bountiful bliss that plays on my third eye movie screen that I project to the ceremonious canvas on the earth's horizon, harmonizes optimistic ingenuity, Zen's omnific nous. Nous is wisdom. Neons my portraits of peace and prosperity on the universe's divine skylines, as I witness my magic movie of me every day, as I manifest and receive my lavish, endless abundances of love, fun, health, wealth, relaxation on my seashores of stunning success and joy and leisure, now and forevermore. And that is really something I really want you to open up to. I liberate me from me, but you're really liberating you from everything, your parents' way of life, your viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, everything you heard in your life that controlled you today. And that's why, and when you open up to that, what do you want to be liberated from? Why do you want to be liberated? Why will you feel energized and wise when you say, I liberate me from me and I'm free from me? Everything you're really trying to do in self-help, personal, is liberate you from you. And that's as simple as it gets. Now, I want to thank you. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity, Pure Liberation Television. My website's mycowboywisdom.com. My email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And may your life be as liberatedly blessed as you are a blessing to the world. Thank you and good day.